Dear students, in this session we are going to discuss about passband transmission model. So, we have studied about the various modulation technique, PCM pulse code modulation, uh, uh, differential pulse code modulation, delta modulation, like that. These all are comes under the baseband signal transmission. That means there is no modulation in that case. But now in the fourth module we are studying about the passband transmission model. So the difference between the baseband and passband is that in the case of passband modulation, passband model, we will be using modulation techniques like digital modulation techniques, that is amplitude shift keying, phase shift keying, frequency shift keying, like that. So in the baseband transmission there is no modulation. The signal is directly encoded into different codes. For that we are using pulse code modulation, differential pulse code modulation, delta modulation, like that we have studied in the third module. Okay. So now what is a pass band modulation, or it is also called band pass modulation. So band pass is a single term. There is a spelling mistake. Okay. So band pass modulation is defined as a process by which amplitude, frequency or phase of an area of RF carrier is varied in accordance with the information to be transmitted. And the figure shows the passband transmission model. So here in the case of passband or bandpass modulation, what is the process taking place in the modulation? The carrier behavior is varied in accordance with the information signal. Okay, so here amplitude, frequency or phase of the RF carrier is varied in accordance with the information signal or information to be transmitted. So here is the passband transmission model. There is a message source, then comes the transmitter, and transmitter contains the encoder, signal transmission encoder and a modulator. Then the output of the transmitter is given to the communication channel. At the receiver side there is a detector and a decoder. So let us see what is the function of all this. First of all, what is the function of message source? Message source produces different messages or symbols that is represented by MI. Okay. So message source produces messages MI and it is applied to the encoder. So the MI will goes to the encoder. Encoder will produces the codes corresponding to this MI, and actually it produces a vector SI. So encoder produces the corresponding vector SI, and that SI contains n real elements. So SI has distinct components that has n real elements. So corresponding to each MI there is an SI, and the SI has different elements. Okay. Next comes the modulator, and the different modulators are used like ASK, FSK, PSK, like that, and a carrier wave is applied to this modulator, and modulator modulates or changes the behavior of this carrier signal in accordance with the coming message vector. Okay, here the vector SI is given. So or we can say that carrier wave nature is changed according to the message signal MI. Okay, so after the modulation, this signal produced is SI of t. Here it is a function of t. So modulator produced distinct signal SI of t of duration TB seconds to represent the symbol MI produced by the message source. Okay. So SI of t is transmitted over the communication channel. So the behavior of the communication channel is that it produces the output X of t, and here you can see that the input is SI of t, output is X of t. What is its meaning? X of t will have some noise components. So we are assuming that the noise introduced by this channel is a white Gaussian noise. And what is the characteristics of that white Gaussian noise? It has got zero mean and power spectral density of n0 by 2, and that we have gone through that white Gaussian noise in the third module. Okay, you will have some idea about that. Okay, so X of t contains the effect of noise, so part of noise. So channel is a, we can say the characteristics of the channel is a band pass channel. So that means channel is a linear channel with sufficient bandwidth, and channel noise is introduced in that bandpass channel, and we are assuming that it is a white Gaussian noise with mean 0 in power spectral density and 0 by 2. And what is next? Next is the receiver side. It contains detector and signal decoder, signal transmission decoder. That means And what all processes are taking place in the transmitter, the opposite process taking place at the receiver. So here is the signal encoder, so there will be a decoder. Here is a modulator, so there will be a demodulator or a detector. So the receiver consists of detector and signal decoder, and it will perform the reverse operations performed by the transmitter, and its function is to minimize the channel noise on the estimate of the transmitted symbol. So the main function of the receiver is that it has to minimize the effect of channel noise on the estimate of the transmitted symbol. Here we are getting x of t, and x of t is first decoded by the detector, and we will obtain the x, that is demodulated symbol. So x is obtained, and that demodulated symbol is then decoded. That will be a coded version, so that will be decoded by the decoder. So we will obtain the estimate m cap. So the main function of the receiver is to minimize the effect of the noise on the estimate m cap. Okay. So this is the basic model of the passband modulation. So the difference between baseband and passband is that in the case of baseband modulation, there is no modulation technique is used. We are coding the signal into a waveform. So we are using pulse code modulation, delta modulation, adaptive delta modulation, like that. So in the case of passband modulation, different modulation techniques will be used for that. The carrier signal behavior is changed in accordance with the information signal. Okay. So go through this topic and prepare notes. Okay.